Well, I'm excited about what I've observed here the last couple of days. I certainly really um, love this team. I love the way they work. I'm excited about what I'm seeing from a growth standpoint. I think we improved this week. I think we've got better leadership at the player level. And certainly when you play a conference road game, it takes a different mindset and a different approach. But I commend our players. I really have been impressed with what I've seen from a leadership standpoint. So very impressed with the attitude of the players and really like where we're headed. And, hey, there are no shortcuts. You got to wake up every day. You got to keep hammering away, one play at a time, one person at a time. And I think that we're seeing some of that. I really like our football team. I like some of the things that I observed. So we're excited about this challenge and opportunity, and it will be a challenge. This is a football team that has drastically improved, and Coach Withers is doing a really good job with that program as he rebuilds it. So with that being said, we'll take a few questions here.
How much pride do you guys take in the red zone thing that you got going right now?
Well, I think it's a product of good preparation and good execution, and I think it's something that we can hang our hat on. Like, hey, you guys have done a great job executing when you've gotten inside the 20, similar to the way we've rushed the ball at times. There's lots of positives, and that's kind of what I've told the players is, hey, we can put together a great highlight reel, but what about our consistency and performance? What about our discipline to execute at critical times? How about playing the situations a little smarter? But certainly we're a very capable team that has done a lot of good things. We've got to eliminate the negatives, and we've got to do a better job playing with more consistency.
When you talk about in the red zone, I guess you also have to give some credit to what you're doing. You're obviously calling right plays. So
right.
Situations.
Right. And we spent a lot of time on it. I think it's something that's very important. We started our week with it. We did. I think some of the things that we did at Arizona State last year, some of the things that I've learned, we had a really good red zone group last year. So it helps when you got players. I think we've got good players, and I think that our players have done a good job understanding the importance of that area. We certainly practice it a lot in spring practice. We do a good job in season of getting quality work on Sunday and Wednesday and Thursday.
Texas State has had 300 yards in one game rushing and just 26 yards in another one.
Mm-hmm.
Have you figured out what the key is to their running attack and how you guys have to defend that?
Well, what our focus is on is our practice habits on defense, our effort and pursuit. I thought our guys did a really good job this week of studying the runner, completely stopping the ball, making an attempt to get the ball out, attack the football. And that's where we can make improvement. We got to tackle better. We got to have better gap integrity. We got to play better team defense and certainly understanding where we fit in the puzzle and rally into the ball. And I think we're making improvement there.
Did you plan for both quarterbacks?
We'll make that decision. Obviously.
Texas State.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They've actually played three guys. I thought the true freshman did a really good job in the most recent game. And then obviously the starter is a great athlete and a guy that can throw it and run. And certainly you can see why he was the starter. But I also think that the freshman that they put in the game recently did a really good job.
What do you like about what you've seen out of Jared Jackson, Bam?
Bam Jackson to me is a guy who's very unselfish. Plays without the ball, hasn't had a ton of production. He's had opportunities for the ball to go his way, but it hadn't quite worked out. But I think he's an outstanding person. He's got a great attitude. He overcame an injury, missed training camp. He certainly battled back in position to be a guy who can impact our team. He does a good job on special teams. He has all the intangibles. In my opinion, he's one of our best representatives of what we would want a Raging Cajun football player to be.
I noticed late in that Alabama game you had Gossett out there for a little bit. You ran Deion Ray through. Are there any of those guys kind of further down on the depth chart that might, emerge as somebody who you work into rotation regularly?
Khalif Gossett's a guy who's had a good couple days, and certainly he's put a couple weeks back to back. You know, he's making improvement. He's always been a guy that's flashed. He's always a guy who's long. He's got speed. And certainly he's developing more consistency, and I think with some success will come some confidence. But I think he's a young man with a bright future. If he continues to work the way he's working now, he'll certainly be where we want him to be at some point.
Is the whole Jackhead going both ways thing kind of tabled for now? Does he have too much on the plate to worry about that?
Well, I think at some point when we feel like he's mastered corner, you know, that's the key, you know, and I think to give him credit, he's getting better. He's playing a little better every game. You know, he's learning what to look at. He's learning, you know, the things that come with playing defense. It's one thing to practice, another thing to do it when it really counts. But he played his best ball last week. You know, he still made a handful of mistakes, but you can see where the guy is really getting a grasp for it, and he's on the verge of a breakthrough, I think.
The usual Wednesday Lorenzo McCaskill question.
Yeah, Lorenzo is doing individual, you know. He's making progress. I don't think he's quite ready to play, but I think at some point we'll have him back here shortly. But he's done individual 2 days in a row, a little bit of a modified program for him. He's on the right track, but it is a very subjective, you know, injury relative to how that goes going forward.
Talking about preparing for two quarterbacks, do they do anything different when they've got different guys on, and what challenges have you faced trying to prepare for what they'll do with one versus the other?
Well, I think, you know, you got to prepare for the better athlete, you know, all the quarterback runs that they do with the starter. And really, I think they did a simplified version of what they do. I think the true freshman's a quality passer who really was accurate with the ball, made good decisions. So I don't think their system completely changes. We're just practicing their plays, and certainly if the starter's in there, he's a good athlete. We've got to be aware of where he's at. He can take off running on you and create some issues. Zion's doing better. He's in kind of similar mode as Lorenzo. He did some individual yesterday and today. Still, it's a matter of strengthening. You know, it's you know, an issue that he'll battle the rest of the way. It'll always be a little bit here and there, but we'll have him back to have some. You know, he'll be able to contribute hopefully at some point, but I don't quite think he'll be ready for this week.
He subluxed it or dislocated?
It's just a shoulder injury, you know, and I don't, you know, I think the specifics of that are medical. That's not for me to comment on.
Do you have any other fresh injuries yesterday or today?
No, we're good. We're healthy. Yeah, we didn't have anybody else miss practice, and I'm pleased with all those guys that are injured at the rate of recovery.
Is Zion a guy that, you know, if he doesn't make a lot of improvement, is he following that guy that might be able to take that red shirt?
Well, he actually redshirted last year, yeah. So he's a redshirt freshman, and that's exciting to me because the guy's got 4 years eligibility left. We've got some young players on this team that have bright futures that are playing good ball as rookies, whether they're sophomores or freshmen. You know, I think that's one of the things that we've done. We've added some quality players that are young that are contributing early.